Ooh, welcome back to my channel, sports fans. Okay, let's get into this one right here. Bill Russell rides the bus, part 2. Yep, Bill Russell rides the bus, part 2. And in the first one, it was just horrible, guys. We did the NBA Finals, and Bill Russell was the 3rd to 9th leading scorer in 9 NBA Finals. He was 3 to 5. He had bench players outscoring him. He had guys that Jim said that wouldn't make the Hall of Fame without Bill Russell. Tommy Heinsohn, a rookie, led the Celtics in scoring in the first NBA Finals. And Tommy Heinsohn's rookie year, which was Bill Russell's rookie year, Tommy Heinsohn led the Celtics to the championship in the NBA Finals. He was the highest scorer on the team. And Bill Russell wasn't even top 10, guys. And Tommy Heinsohn led in probably about 4 different NBA Finals. And it was just different guys, right? The only time Bill Russell led in scoring on the team, it was 2 NBA Finals, and it was less than a point, guys. So let's look at the regular season. Just another hit on this guy's legacy. His career is a fraud, man. He's an all-time great player, but his career is a fraud. As far as the way they've been giving it to us, he was just a rebounder, a defender, a one-way player, while everybody else in the league who were all-time greats, they were either two-way players or all-around players like Bob Pettit, who is this? Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robertson, Bob Pettit. They were either all-around players or two-way players. And this guy was none of it. Bill Russell was none of that. So let's keep in mind when we go through the regular season, and we're going to go through Bill Russell's entire career and who was the leading scorers on the Boston Celtics team, the top 5 players, right? Who was the leading scorers during the regular season on the Celtics team? And keep in mind that Bill Russell won an MVP in 1959, 61, what was it? 61, let me make sure that's right, 59, 61, 62, 63, and 65, if I'm not mistaken. So just remember those years. Yeah, 63 and 65, because I think Oscar Robertson won it on 64, and Wilt Chamberlain won it in 60. So 59, 61, 62, 63, and 65. Just remember those years. While we go through this, we're not going to try to make it long because we already know Bill Russell's career. The way they're trying to hype it was a fraud. So the year he came in, his rookie season, right? Bill Russell, the 56-50 season, the leading scorers on the Boston Celtics, Bill Sharman. Oh, we got another caveat later. I'm going to just say that. Bill Sharman, 21 points per game. Second was Bob Cousy with 20 points per game. Third was Tom Heinsohn, the rookie Tom Heinsohn that led the team in scoring in the NBA Finals, guys. Was number 3 with 16 points per game, and Bill Russell at 14 points per game was number 4. The next season, in 57-58, Bill Sharman led with 22 points per game, Bob Cousy 18 points per game, Tom Heinsohn with 17 points per game, and Wilt Chamberlain all the way down, not Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell 16 points per game. That was basically tied with Frank Ramsey, the guy that Jim said ain't going to make the Hall of Fame without Bill Russell, even though this guy, Frank Ramsey, was the original 6-man. He sacrificed his game to play the 6-man, and on top of that, he led the Celtics in scoring, I think, more than Bill Russell. He outscored Bill Russell in 4 NBA Finals. So 59, Bill Sharman led with 20 points per game, Bob Cousy with 20 points per game. Also, Tom Heinsohn with 18 points per game. There go that dude again. Bill Russell with 16, one more point than Frank Ramsey. Wow. We're going to talk about his rebounds because they're going to talk about his rebounds. We're going to tell you they're the most inflated rebounds of all time. Where we at? 60. Tom Heinsohn, wow. 21 points per game. Bob Cousy, 19. Bill Sharman, 3rd with 19. Bill Russell with 18. Oh, hold on. Let's go back, guys. I forgot. Remember, 59 was his MVP season, his first one. So, Bill Russell was the 3rd leading scorer in 59, behind Tom Heinsohn, who was the 3rd leading scorer. So, this guy won an MVP in 59, being a 3rd leading scorer. Remember, don't give me no rebounds because Tom Heinsohn was a two-way player. This guy put up points and he put up rebounds. He was a double-digit rebounder. So 61, when Bill Russell won another MVP, his second. Tom Heinsohn led in scoring with 21 points per game. Bob Cousy was second with 18 points per game. Bill Russell, 16 points per game, and won the MVP, third on his team in scoring. And I think this was the year he shot like 41, 42% from the field. It was horrible. It was laughable. In all his MVP seasons, it was like 42, 43, 44% from the field. It was only one time he shot 45 over league average. When they say league average, we're talking about that's for the perimeter guys. If they say 44%, that's what the perimeter guys should be shooting, not the centers under the basket. So he won an MVP in 61, again, being the third leading scorer on the team. And Tom Heinsohn was outscoring him again. 62, he won the MVP this year too. Tom Heinsohn led the team in scoring, 22 points per game. Bill Russell was second with 18 points per game. Sam Jones was third with 18 also. And Bob Cousy was 15 points per game, was fourth. And Frank Ramsey, 15 points per game, was fifth. Now, let's keep going. 62, Tom Heinsohn led in scoring again. Remember, Tom Heinsohn is putting up a double-double. So don't give me no 22 rebounds and all this stuff. And Bill Russell, I'm going to tell you why he was putting up so many rebounds, guys, in a minute. Second leading scorer on the team again. Well, not the leading scorer again. Tommy Heinsohn was 22 points per game. Bill Russell, 18.9. Sam Jones, 18. And Bob Cousy, 15. And Frank Ramsey, 15. How come there's really no separation with Bill Russell? Right, when he's the first or second leading scorer on the team, he is always by less than a point or by a point. There's no separation for this guy. Just like in the NBA Finals, when he led the team only 2 years, he led it by less than a point on his team. The other guys were right behind him, so he didn't even lead by a point. It's crazy. 63. He wins another MVP. Guy ain't even breaking 20 points per game, guys, winning MVPs. 63, Sam Jones is the leading scorer, 19 points per game. Tom Heinsohn, 18.9 points per game. Bill Russell, third, with 16.8 points per game. John Havlicek, 14, and then Bob Cousy, 13. So now he's number 3 in scoring and winning another MVP, guys. Shooting a brick fest under the basket, 41, 42, 43, 44%. 64. He didn't win it this year. I think Oscar Robertson won it this year. Havlicek led the team in scoring, 20 points per game. Sam Jones, 19. Tom Heinsohn, third, 16. Bill Russell, fourth, with 15. And Frank Ramsey, fifth, with 10. 65. Bill Russell won the MVP in this year. Sam Jones led the team, 26 points per game. John Havlicek, 18 points in second. Bill Russell, 14 points per game, guys, was third on the team. This guy won the MVP, scoring 14 points per game. Guys, when we take this pace of play of the 60s to the 90s to the 2000s, this guy is literally in these MVP years scoring 11 to 13 points per game. The pace of play in the 60s is the pace of play today in 2025. So imagine, you saw the numbers Elgin Baylor was putting up, Wilt Chamberlain, all these guys, Bob Pettit, Dante Osprey, they were putting up crazy numbers. 30 points per game, 50, 44, 35. And this guy can't even break 20, guys. And don't give me nothing about his rebounds. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But one thing I will say about that, everybody else was grabbing a lot of rebounds for their position. Bob Pettit was grabbing, 18. We already know what Wilt Chamberlain was grabbing. He was out-rebounding Bill Russell in the first place. He won the 7 rebound titles while he was in the league. I think 8. Taking rebound titles away from Bill Russell. So he was out-rebounding him. Bill Russell only won 4 rebound titles, guys, because of Wilt Chamberlain. He lucky he won that. He won 2 because Wilt wasn't in the league yet. And then he won 1 because Wilt was hurt. So he only really out-rebounded Wilt 1 year, officially. Straight up. All the other years, Wilt out-rebounded him. Doubled and tripled him in scoring. So everybody's, Jerry West's rebounds were inflated, Oscar, everybody's was. But I'm going to tell you why this guy had even more rebounds than a lot of guys. So yeah, he won the MVP scoring 14 points per game, guys, while shooting a brick fest. I think this year we were shooting like 43%. 66. Sam Jones led the team with 23 points per game. Havlicek was 18 points per game. Larry, I think it's Seafried, was third, 13 points per game. Remember, this is the guy that Jim said was nothing. He was just an add-on Hall of Famer that jumped on the bandwagon. Yes, he was already a Hall of Famer that never won a championship, yes. But he just jumped on the bandwagon. That's correct. They had a lot of guys do that. They already had Hall of Fame careers, but never won a championship and just, came off the bench. But this was a guy was outscoring, I think in 2 NBA finals, outscored Bill Russell. And now in 66, he was scoring more points than Bill Russell. So he was third in scoring on the team. Bill Russell was fourth with 12.9 points per game. Tommy Heinsohn came in fifth. So 67, Sam Jones leads with 22 points per game. Havlicek, 21 points per game. Bailey Howe, another guy that jumped on the train, already had a Hall of Fame career, hadn't won a championship, and just jumped on the already stacked Celtics team. And he was third on the team in scoring, 20 points per game. There's that dude, Larry Seafried, 14 points per game, fourth on the team in scoring. Bill Russell was fifth on the team in scoring. I haven't seen Bill Russell lead the team in scoring one single time. 68. Sam Jones leads again, 21 points per game. Havlicek, 20. Bailey Howe, 19 and third. There go that dude. Let me make sure there ain't no typo. No, there ain't no typos. It's the same as last time. Larry Seafried, 12 points per game, was fourth. And there go, something is wrong with this. Because it said Larry Seafried averaged 12.2, and it says Bill Russell was fifth, averaged 12.5. I wonder what happened there. Nevertheless, they got a fifth. But even if he's fourth, he's fourth. He still ain't even close. 69, Havlicek leads the team in scoring, 21 points per game. Bailey Howe, the dude at Jim Knox. This guy, Jim, is a fraud, dude. If we can't even believe what he's saying about Bill Russell, how can we believe any other stuff that he's saying on this channel? Most of it. Yeah, I will say a lot of it's true, but how can you believe anything else? Like, a lot of it. I don't understand. Bailey Howe was second with 19 points per game. Sam Jones, 16. Larry Seafried, again, fourth with 14 points per game. Don Nelson, of all people, was fifth on the team in scoring with 11 points per game. Huh. What a joke, guys. What a joke. So what did Bill Russell play? So that would be, I think, at 10. I want to say 12 years he played. He never led the team in scoring, guys. And I think he only came in second place in team scoring one time. And it was like less than a point again. It was ridiculous. So basically, I don't know, guys. I'm trying to narrow this down. It's going to be tough. But you guys tell me. So, 57, he was fourth in scoring. 58, he was third in scoring. 59, he was third in scoring. 60, he was fourth in scoring. 61, Bill Russell was third in scoring. 62, Bill Russell was second in scoring by less than a point. 63, Bill Russell was third in scoring. 64, he was third in scoring. 65, he was third in scoring. 66, he was fourth in scoring. 67, he was fifth in scoring. 68, he was fifth in scoring. 69, he didn't even show up top five. I don't have no calculator or nothing like this. But when you don't even show up in the top five, one time he didn't show up in the top five. 2 times he was number 5. And then a lot of times he was I would say, wow, guys. I would say he averaged, to me, the 4th leading scorer. If we had to do averages, it would be 4th. Just because he had a lot of 4s, and then he had 2 5s, And then he had one, he wasn't even in the top 5, guys. So I would have to say he was the 4th leading scorer on the team, guys, on average. This is your 5-time MVP winner, guys. We went over the finals. I don't know what to say. In the finals, he was 3rd to 5th leading scorer. If we average it, and I should have did the average on that, but it was 12 finals, guys. So out of 12 finals, because he did lead 1 time or 2 times by less than a point. Oh God! I would have to say he was the 4th leading scorer in the finals on average. But let me say this: the reason why Bill Russell was collecting all them rebounds, 1, he can't shoot. He was the biggest liability at shooting. For 2, that's all he had to do was rebound and defend. All the other players on the team had to do both. They had to be two-way players or all-around players, or, maybe KC Jones was an exception and Tom Sanders was an exception. But as far as scoring. But for Bill Russell, that's all he had to do was be a one-way player. So because that's all he had to do, that ain't what Sam Jones and Tommy Heinsohn and Bob Cousy and all these other guys had to do. Bill Shaman, they had to be two-way players or all-around players. So because that's all Bill Russell had to do was sit there and collect rebounds and play defense, guess what? He had more energy because he only had to do one thing. What does that mean? This guy averaged 42 minutes per game. He has the highest minutes per game in NBA history, guys. Because all he did was sit there and collect rebounds. He never left the damn game. I think at 42 minutes, if they played the same minutes, right, as today or the past 20, 30 years, that means he came out of the game for less than 2 minutes per quarter. So that's why he was able to get all those rebounds, guys. And you would think with him playing the most minutes on his team and the most minutes per game in NBA history, I'm saying per game, that his scoring would at least be 20 points, guys. In some years, it never was. Even when he won MVPs. Why? Because they told him all he has to do is rebound. A Ben Wallace, a Dikembe Mutombo, a Dennis Rodman. People get mad when I say that. But those are the facts. That's what kind of skills he had, guys. When you see his shooting percentage, we went over that in the 7-part Bill Russell series, it's mind-blowing. This guy was shooting in the NBA Finals, playoff series, under 40% sometimes. What? As a center, who was only taking 10 shots a game. And somebody told me, well, the point that he did get, it was from him missing. From him breaking. From him missing shots. The points that he did get, which was very little, in that fast-paced era. He has no inflated numbers. Except for his rebounds. And they even inflate more because like everybody's rebounds were inflated in that era. Right? Because everything was inflated. But they inflated even more because he never got the hell off the court. And they told him, that's all you have to do is sit there and rebound. We'll do all the scoring. Meanwhile, Elgin Baylor, Jerry West, Bob Pettit, Oscar Robertson, Wilt Chamberlain, and guys like that had to do both, guys. If they didn't do both, they didn't win. And they still did both and lost because the Boston Celtics team was loaded. Nobody had that luxury but Bill Russell. And again, if you never saw the 7-part series on Bill Russell dismantling his legacy, he won those MVPs because of his Civil Rights Act. If you don't believe me, go back and watch my Bill Russell series on his MVPs. What they did to Wilt Chamberlain, Bob Pettit, Oscar Robertson, Jerry West, Elgin Baylor was a fucking crime. was a crime. It was a crime. If you think dudes is getting snubbed today or 20 years ago, it's not even close what they was doing in the 60s with Bill Russell. So that's it for that. It's just another stain on Jim over there on self-research, NBA facts. Oh, and I lifted up the fact that because he'll be like, oh, there's some anomalies. Yes, Wes Unseld wanted not being the leading scorer on this team. I think he was maybe the second or third. Big deal. He won an MVP. And then you had what's his name? You had Steve Nash, won back-to-back. He wasn't the leading scorer. Okay, he won 2 MVPs. He won the third or the fourth or the fifth or the sixth. He went way down there. He didn't win 5 MVPs doing it, guys. And I think Dave Cowens won 1. Wes Unseld wasn't shooting 40% from the field. 43, 44, 42. And again, y'all miss me. If Dave Cowens wasn't shooting that miserable from the field, and damn sure Steve Nash wasn't. Go see Steve Nash's number. But the fact is, you could put up Steve Nash's number and say, wow, okay, I see, boy, he could have won it. We look at his shooting percentage, his three-point percentage, his the points, his assists, all this stuff. You ain't got nothing to look at for Bill Russell except for some goddamn rebounds. That's inflated. That he wasn't even winning the rebound title in those years sometimes. And guess what? And Bill Russell wasn't even on all NBA first team in some of those years, okay? So it's just crazy. Like I said, dude was only on all NBA first team 3 times in his career, guys. That's a fraud. It ain't no guy in the top 10 or top 5 that only made all NBA 3 times, guys. 3 times. What a joke. I'm out of here, man.